All right, today I learned that you have to have 1,000 followers now to go live on Instagram. Help me get up to 1,000 followers so I can go live. Had a competition this last weekend. It was my second competition in the last month or so. Here's the recap. Going to competitions for me at this point in my life basically is all but impossible. I work weekends. I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm a table games dealer at Morongo Casino in Cabazon, California. I work 8 to 4 and sometimes 8 to 6. So that means I get off at 8 p.m. I start work at 8 p.m. I get off at 4 a.m. I work swing shift, and sometimes I get off on 6 a.m. on Saturdays. So it happened to be the case that this week I ended up getting lucky, and I ended up working at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, the morning of the competition. So I get off at 5:30. Thank you, pencil. And I just go over to the competition in Pomona with basically no sleep. I go over to the parking structure. I get there at 6:30. I sleep for an hour or so. And I wake up and get ready to go to the competition. The main point of this competition for me was to show up and try tabling for the Temecula Speedcubing school that I'm starting. But I can't help it. I always feel this need to compete, right? So it's no secret I'm getting older. I'm 37 years old, going on 38 this year. And generally, as we age, we do not get faster. But that is a story that we tell ourselves. And so what I want to do with this school and what I do with everything that I do is I want to remind people that the reality in their head is more powerful than the reality that exists. We determine what our reality is, okay? So it isn't the fact that I'm going to get slower as I get older. We don't know that. I actually ended up getting a PR single, and it's not much by Speedcubing. In Speedcubing, in actual legit Speedcubing terms, it was my PR was 780 in 2011, and it's 7 now, right? So it was barely by a hair, and that single sold back in 2011 wasn't even that incredible back then, and it actually is kind of embarrassing that I PR'd by so little, and that the PR is that slow, relatively speaking, because 7 seconds is really not that fast. However, improvement is improvement, and the fact that I have improved my single solve after 15 years of having that single, which is one of the longest stretches, longest gaps in WCA history between PRs, PBs, to me, that's a statement. And I'm only going to get faster because I'm determined to do so. Yes, I'm getting older, but I'm going to get faster. Speed-wise, turning-wise, do I still have it? Yes, I do. Mentally, do I still have it? Yes, I do. And more. And this is going to be so important as I get older. Doing stuff like this for the brain. What I'm trying to do with the school is to get people to realize that things that they think are impossible are really possible. And that's what the Rubik's Cube represents, right? Everybody thinks this is impossible, and they have every reason to not do it. Anytime somebody sees me do that, they think to themselves, or they might say out loud, well, I never had the patience to do that. I could never figure it out. I just don't have, my brain doesn't work that way. They come up with all kinds of excuses for why they can't do it, but never an excuse for why they can. When I listen to the voices in my head, I have a voice that's telling me, you're too old to do this. Why are you trying to become better than what you were before? You're never going to match up to what you were before. And most people, as they get older, they have this mindset. Believe me when I tell you that it's not a problem of your abilities, it's a problem of your mindset. If you can change your mindset, you can change what you can do. My goal is going to be to become the fastest sub 7 solver. I'm going to try to get 6 something in competition average, okay? Right now, they don't even keep track of it, mainly because it's usually young people who do this. But my goal is to get a 6-second average in competition. I think that would be pretty fast for me at this point. I think it's possible. And once I become 40, the senior citizen cubing records should be mine, most definitely, if I continue. But my point is that you could listen to the voices in your head that tell you you're not good enough, that you're too old, that you're not good enough to compete, that there's other people faster than you, that for whatever reason you tell yourself you can't do something. I'm just not going to be able to meet this goal. You can tell yourself that, or you can start telling yourself things. There's no reason I cannot do this. I have everything it takes and then some, right? How you speak and how you think really determines so much of what you're able to do. And what I want to do with this school is train resilience through Rubik's Cube. It's not going to be overtly training resilience to the kids. It's mainly going to be getting the parents to understand how the Rubik's Cube can be a tool for training resilience, but we're also going to be training resilience to the kids through the Rubik's Cube by teaching them how to deal with setbacks. How do you deal with competitions that don't go your way? How do you deal with obstacles? How do you deal with plateaus? How do you deal with frustrations? How do you deal with the fact that other people are faster than you? How do you deal with the fact that you feel like you don't match up to other people's standards or your own standards? Do you just stop when something becomes hard, or do you persevere and do you stick with it? So I'm trying to do this thing with my speed cubing school, and it's bigger than just the Rubik's Cube. I'm trying to inspire people to do that which they think is impossible. And I'm trying to show by example what is possible if we set our minds to it. If we do not let the limitations of this reality and other people's reality and the reality in our own head determine what is actually possible. If we have this stubborn insistence that we can do it, then you can do the thing that you think you cannot do. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. And once you realize the power in that, maybe you'll decide that you can do it. This is Coach Philip from Temecula Speed Cubing School. I believe in you. I hope you believe in yourself.